Hey everybody, welcome to Todd's Corner. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna bring on our guest today, my right hand guy, Mr. Gordon Moriguchi. Hi, Gordon.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, everybody.
And we got Mr. John Avery.
Hi, everybody.
And special guest, Mr. Jan Winneberg.
Hi, from Denmark.
So isn't technology just great? We're all in different places, and he's even, 10,000 miles away from us?
Jan is coming to us via satellite.
Yes.
There you go.
I guess so.
Oh, looks like we got some people already lined up here. So we got Keith Mayfield, Andy Davidson, Michael Morissette, Peter Stewart, Jerry Seward, Peter O'Rourke. Hi, guys. Looks like everybody, most of you guys are watching from YouTube. I see Jerry's on Facebook.
Hope everybody's doing okay.
Yeah, how you guys all doing?
Good.
Oh, there's Ray Thomas. So it looks like you guys all want to be talking to us about the VFX for the practical VFX stuff. This is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to wait and let it get a few more people on. We're already up to 20.
So, Jan, have you been displaying your massive eagle, or you been still playing around with it in the backyard?
No, it's disassembled from the backyard. You can see it here and there. So I have cleaned some of the bird shit of the parts, but not all. I've been taking a break.
I guess trials and tribulations of having it outside.
That's pretty neat. The way you've got it set up.
I never would have dreamed of having the 88 outside with extended period of time. I never thought about the critters that would be coming around, crapping all over it and everything.
Nah, it was the plan. It should have been a playhouse, yeah, for our daycare kids. But I'm not a daycare anymore, so I better take it inside. I just wanted one photo of it in the garden, in the backyard, because I had made the space for it.
Right.
And compare it to the photoshops I made 5 years ago.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Do you plan on? Do you plan on?
That was my goal. What?
I'm sorry. Do you plan on displaying it next year? Do you have shows lined up?
No, not planned. It's a bit. I can't just take it with me in a suitcase. Or it's a bit hard to plan.
Oh, I can understand that. I just figured that you might need more time to plan, because you can't just ship it in a suitcase. You have to have your truck and a trailer in order to cart that thing around.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Peter says, how many people can say that they've got a 25-foot eagle right behind them?
Some of it, at least. The command module is in the garage,
Well, people are coming on now saying your detailing is amazing.
Yeah, it has. I have studied it since I started. I didn't expect it to be that detailed, but visiting props and ships and learning a lot about the filming models, I've just been obsessed with the details. So yeah.
I'm guessing the rest of us are also obsessed.
Yes, I guess so. Us also,
Probably
we're
everybody
all in the same boat
Yeah.
or the same ship.
Heck yeah. So we got a few more people. This is a new one. NSR Firearms and Gun Media. Welcome. Practical effects. Yep. We're going to talk about doing some of these practical effects, see if we can get it figured out and add it to the Eagle Obsession documentary. Jeffrey's going to be joining us here at some point.
So, John, a couple of questions. I guess basically this is kind of an idea that had come late in the game, but it was a good idea to maybe throw in, which is why we're here to talk about it today.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's something Todd and you guys kind of brought to us, and the documentary has come along. We're moving into the post-production stage at this point, and it just wasn't in the budget and wasn't in the plan to do a lot of these practical effects and these different things. And we kind of went, well, as Todd mentioned last week's show, it's not really there. And then Jeffrey kind of went, well, why isn't it there? And Todd kind of argued for why it should be. And I know JC and a couple of guys, really pushed for some practical effects. And that's part of the reason we all loved the show and loved the Eagles back in the day, is the things that Brian and the crew had done. So this is great to be able to even talk about this and try to pull this off.
So is Jeffrey planning on using cardboard cutouts for the explosions or anything like that?
We hadn't thought about that, but now I'm going to make a note of that. That might be a nice little add-on. We'll, that's the way they did it then. Maybe we should do that now. I like it, Gordon.
Yep. Should have. Yep. That would be interesting.
And then let's not forget about all the promo work that he did for stills.
Absolutely.
That would be interesting. A nod to the historical past.
Yep.
Be kind of interesting to see a lot of the actual models be placed without too much CG interference. To have I don't know how they got the effects back then.
Yep. Everything from suspension and movement with wires to the different armatures they used to rig these things. We were just going through some photos the other day, looking at the dry ice smoke and looking at the jets they were using to simulate takeoffs and landing and everything. It's really amazing what they did back then.
Absolutely.
And for that time, they had a massive budget to work with. It was the budget they threw at the special effects in that show for that time period still amazes me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of good ingenuity though that was
absolutely
holds nicely today.
Yep.
Yeah, you can and you notice right away the difference between season 1, which had the big budget, season 2, which had the very low budget of the special effects. So
the way things were done and how they looked in screen. Yeah, absolutely,
yep.
Todd. Absolutely.
Yeah, they used so many effects from season 1 just because they didn't have the budget to recreate anything for season 2.
It just almost became stock footage at that point.
Yep.
For them. Yep. But,
yep.
I have a note on cardboard cutouts here, so we'll figure out a way to do it.
Hopefully, Jeffrey got my link that I sent in the crew group.
So, John, if we're going to be doing a incorporation of this VFX or SFX setup, is it going to be within the storyline? Is it going to be a segment all in its own? How do you want to? How does Jeffrey or you want to incorporate, or has there been discussion with that?
Yeah, he and I have been talking about a couple of different ways to work this in, and obviously some of this depends on what the fans want, how far, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but how far the crowdfunding goes and how many different shots we can do. That's obviously going to kind of determine how much time this will take up. We kind of talked about, rather than plopping it down in the middle of the documentary, having it flow the way it is, and then this is almost an epilogue or an addition to the end of the documentary would be a really cool place. And the way he and I kind of thought about it, it's almost a way to go full circle. We talked about in the beginning, why he and why all of us love the Eagles, why we started this, why we're going on this journey. It'd be neat to finish it up showing practical effects and how we all fell in love with this. So I think that that's a good place to put it in the doc at the end there. And, you know, the more we can get through Todd and through you guys, your efforts, the more we can shoot. So we're excited.
So how do you feel about the current Kickstarter that's going on with the retro Mattel Eagle, the Eagle 1976, that's partnered by Giant Leap, Zyka, and Anderson Entertainment?
You know, I was excited to see it. It was kind of something, you know, I know that they weren't for everybody and not everybody loved them back then. I know I did, and had a friend that had one and was insanely jealous, but we used it all the time. To see it come out now, and that, again, we keep talking 50 years later, we keep coming out with toys, we keep coming out with collectibles. That says something about the staying power of this. And the fact that they're going to make a green special version of it too. You know, for those of us that have the dinkies, right, Gordon?
That's right. That's right. Well, the funny thing is, though, is that funny you should mention dinkies. Dinkies was US and UK, where the Mattel stuff was not necessarily UK at all. Right. Where I think this kind of opens up an opportunity to finally get one, I guess, if you will, at a halfway decent price. I say halfway decent because it's more collectible than your $19.99 price tag at your local retailer, TG&Y or Kmart, whatever you had growing up, was made available to all of us Americans. Now it's made for both the UK and the US, which is kind of nice. And hopefully the rest of Europe or whoever wants one.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I like to have one. Of course, I've got the original one, so.
Yeah.
Yes, but yours is all modified.
Right. Exactly.
Actually, I wouldn't mind getting a hold of one that's without the yellow glue that's holding it.
Hello, I'm Jamie Anderson from Anderson Entertainment, son of the late Jerry Anderson, and I'm
show that here in a little while.
Anyway, I would like to obtain one that's I don't need the box or anything like that, but I wouldn't mind having an original with the way the original decals or stickers were supposed to be for it. Right. But without all that yellow glue that seems to deteriorate over time.
Wow. Yeah. Let's see.
So yeah, on your 25-foot Eagle, I know you have the 22-inch pre-built Rescue Eagle. Every time you place that on, there you go. Very nice. Every time that you place that on your 25-footer, it's just unbelievable. It looks like a very tiny little die cast that is placed on, like, let's say a 44-inch or something. Right. Well, on your 25-footer, you can't even see that.
I know.
You know, but your having the scale of your 22-inch Rescue Eagle is just amazing, massive. I just love it every time I see it. It's pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I did it because I could.
Yeah. I just did it because I could.
Yeah, and you did it too. I think you did it first, Gordon. So I just copied you.
Actually, Andrew Grimshaw did it for me. My motto is I don't build, I buy. But Bill George is the one who actually did the first real 88. Yeah. Even though it wasn't 100% 88, it's still beautiful build for his Sci-Fi air show. I wouldn't mind putting them side by side just to have a wonderful display overall. But you need a lot of room for that. And of course, he lives in San Fran. Well, I live literally all the way at the other end of the country in Fredericksburg, Virginia. But I suppose while we're waiting for Jeffrey, we could talk a little bit about Wonderfest next year, if John and Jan, if that's okay with you guys. So John,
absolutely.
We've invited John and Jeffrey to do Wonderfest next year. We've already bought the tables, got the space, and we've invited the Giant Leap, the Zyka folks, the MPC Round 2 folks, the Anderson Entertainment folks in order to celebrate the 50th anniversary from a merchandising, modeling, and just having an Eagle perspective. I think Nick Tate has promised to be there again. It was very well received with thousands of foot traffic there in the dealer's room from last 2 years that we've been there. And Todd and I promised to have one hell of a celebration from a merchandising perspective. So the 88 will be there. Todd and I think will sprinkle a number of 44s for our own exhibit, but we also want to make sure that the folks who do the merchandising now, the license holders, are pretty much front and center, showing off what's still going on 50 years later today with interest of kits, because I think Jamie Hood is promising some interesting 50th anniversary stuff, but I'm not going to say too much past that. But I'm looking forward to that. Jamie Anderson, obviously, there's a sorry about the background noise. I got my window open. It's such a beautiful day. The VIP is about sold out from Anderson Entertainment, and of course, the retro Eagle 1976 is going to be selling like bonkers next year. So definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll have a decent display to where we can actually display all of them. I plan on purchasing all of the variants and having a pretty nice display. But we also want to, I have a number of historical originals that we would like to display as well, kind of where we got started to where we're at today. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be real neat to see. So if you're in Louisville, Kentucky, or make plans to come to Louisville, Kentucky, last week of April? I'm sorry, last week of May, first week of June time frame. I need to look up the dates.
It's the 30th and 31st, or the 31st and 1st, whichever that.
Like that, yeah.
That weekend? Okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah, the last weekend of May, I guess, and the first weekend. Wonderfest.com. Just keep your eyes open. I don't think there's any kind of formal announcements as of yet because it's a little early.
Right.
But once again, we got the tables bought, we got the space picked out, and it's going to be amazing. We are definitely going to do what we can in order to make this amazing. All you got to do is show up, purchase your ticket, get your hotel, find your way to get over there. It's going to be a sweet deal. I don't necessarily think that there's going to be too many other guests that I know of from the show. Maybe there will be. We haven't really worked out those details, but Nick did say that he would be there. Looking forward to it. The readers are going to be there. Mike and Debbie Reader with their amazing aluminum stuff. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to be pretty much ready. I think Bill Altenberg is going to be producing a number of 3D kits like these 22-inch Super Swift. That thing is something, where hardly anybody has ever had a Super Swift, and you would only have to get one like totally custom made. Bill is the man to get with if you're interested in just obtaining a 22-inch, which is in scale with the 14-inch Eagle Super Swift, which is pretty cool to have. Mike Reeder's actually working on mine, which I'm very, very thankful for, with aluminum and everything. So I can't wait to see what he comes up with. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I think David Boyer, hopefully, if he's not sick again next year, he's going to be showing up. He actually provides a little bit of modeling services. He does builds, really, really good job on some builds. And I don't know, Wonderfest's a lot of fun. So come on.
And we'll also be screening the Eagle Obsession for the first time.
Right. So, John,
the entire movie.
I'm hoping to. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll definitely be pushing the documentary, maybe documentaries, because I know The Return of Tomorrow is supposed to be pretty much in full production by that point. Hopefully, we can have some stuff that we can actually push.
Yep.
It doesn't have to just be Space 1999 50th anniversary. This is a science fiction horror modeling show. So, what you guys are actually promoting from a science fiction overall perspective will definitely be relevant to this whole endeavor.
Yeah, it's exciting time. We've got a lot going on. We love working with you guys, and Wonderfest has been a blast to do. So hopefully we'll have a lot of stuff to show the fans and get everybody excited. And like you said, that venue just works perfect for what we're trying to do.
It is kind of a centralized location, and of course 2 hours away from Todd's house. How convenient.
There is
that.
But yeah, it's a nice middle of the country location, not too far east. And I suppose folks from the West are going to have to make a little bit more of a trudge. I know I'm thinking Augie Gonzalez and those folks out of San Diego and Los Angeles might be able to make their way. Hopefully, we missed Augie this past year, but he's definitely been at a number of others in the past. I always love having him out from Interstellar Modeler. That's his brand. But yeah, come one, come all.
Heck yeah. Let me see. We got Alan Bailey here today. Oh, there's Nick McCarty. Space 1999 Nick McCarty.
Oh yeah. Hey Nick, how you doing?
Oh, there you go, Jan. Will you be building a Hawk at the same scale?
No, sorry. I'm an eagle guy.
There you go.
I wanted an eagle for Christmas. I don't know what year it was, as a put together set. And then I got the Hawk instead, and I was so disappointed.
Oh, wow.
So the Hawk doesn't stand as high as the eagle for me.
Right.
Sorry.
That's not too bad. I like the Hawk. I like the Hawk just fine. Yeah. There's an individual in England, I forget the gentleman's name, who built a good grief, 60-inch. It's in scale with the 88. It's pretty massive build. I would love to get more pictures of it. I forget the gentleman's name who actually made it, but that would actually look really good next to my Andrew build of the 88.
Yeah.
But Jan, I think that if you really were interested in building any other ship at that scale, would you still be married? Would your wife leave you?
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Jan. Don't say anything.
Yeah. Don't say nothing.
It's a bit hard for me.
Yeah, I was actually very, very thankful that my wife supported me just with the 88 here.
Yeah. Peter wants to know if you're going to build another pod for your 25-footer.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Different pods.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm hoping is the little time that you had it outside. I'm hoping they got a photo of it from the satellites.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be cool.
But I got the drone shots, which were pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, the drone shots are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, those are amazing.
I hadn't thought about that, though, Todd. It'd be cool if somebody stumbled on that on Google Earth or something and some eagle parked in his yard.
Yeah, I don't think you could get a good idea of the size of it from there, but everybody be like, man, he's got an eagle.
It's huge. Yeah.
What is that? Is that thing real?
It's like all those the other ones that people have made during the years. It's like like the playground eagle and stuff like that. The people, there's all kinds of shots of those, but most of them don't.
They all deteriorated over time.
Yeah.
So while we're still waiting for Jeffrey, if you guys don't mind, there's a lot of stuff out there that is available for purchase. It's great to be a Space 1999 fan if you're into the merch. Jamie Anderson with Anderson Entertainment still keeps cranking out merch, whether it's an RPG, a core rule book, or if you're going to get another novel. The comic anthology is still available from the Look-In Comics. The Armageddon Engine book, the new novel, is also available on audiobook. If you don't want to read it, you can listen to it. That's kind of nice. Something that Powys never did. Maybe one day that it'd be kind of cool to see the Powys novels be audiobook.
All right, hold on. We have another guest.
Jeffrey coming.
Jeffrey.
Hey
Sorry,
guys.
I had to scroll down to see you there.
It's Jan. Hey Jan, how are you?
Hi, guys. Gordon?
I'm good.
Huh?
Fashionably late
Hey.
as usual.
What was that?
Fashionably late as usual.
Yeah.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been discussing, look at that background behind Jan there.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Everybody needs one of those.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's really cool. Yeah, it's great. So what's up, guys? You want to talk about this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We want to get some information to these folks so they can decide, understand what they're going to be helping us with.
Sure. Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Well, I've got the link that you sent me for the Kickstarter that's got the about and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
before we get into the about part, I think you should probably give a little bit of a history of how we got here. Like, why are we doing the VFX when the documentary is already mostly in post-production? I'm thinking.
Well, the documentaries. Well, this is something that actually wasn't my idea. It was something that I think it was what Jorge Carmo, some others, had reached out and said, hey, you guys going to do some? I've had direct messages over time, people saying, are you guys willing to do any practical visual effects for this project? And the thing for me is obviously this is it's a challenging and expensive undertaking to make a movie, and we weren't in a position where we were ready to actually, the thing with doing the computer generated effects, I've tried to create them in such a way that they are an homage to the original visual effects shots that were done in the 70s. We haven't tried to create something that looks like a modern, high-speed visual effects thing that looks like a modern movie. We've really tried to say, all right, if they had these effect capabilities 50 years ago, what would it look like? That kind of thing with the effects we were doing. And I feel very good about the work we did with Tobias Richter and the light work so far. But when the question came up, could we do some practical effect shots? At first I was like, well, I got to finish the film. And then I started thinking about, we have a really small window before we wrap. The film is scheduled to be wrapped up by mid-January. But we had this window where we could actually maybe do some practical effect shots. So I started doing some exploration and trying to think about how would we do it? How would we approach it? And obviously the most important aspect of this for me is that the reason why we all fell in love with the Eagle and Space 1999, I think, was the practical effects. Obviously, I mean, they didn't have the computer generated stuff yet back then, and the quality of the visuals and the content was amazing, and still is to this day. And that's why we fell in love with it, right? And obviously, the documentary touches on there's a segment where I talk to Brian Johnson, and we really get into how did they do those effects back then, and we're going to show all kinds of behind the scenes and everything with it. But the idea of doing new effect shots today using those old techniques was something that we just hadn't thought about. Anyway, I explored it, and I think we can pull it off, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do it. And so I'd like to do an effort here in the Twin Cities in December, potentially. But obviously, we need some help to finance it and pay for it. The documentary itself is kind of already in post-production and finished. And if we were going to do these practical effect shots, we're going to need some fans to step up and help us get it done. So that's kind of the basic elements of it right now. So.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Kickstarter then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've mapped out, Todd and John and I have kind of mapped out a path to what we think it will cost to actually do these things. One thing for fans to remember is that when they did do those visual effects shots, the back 50 years ago, Space 1999 was the most expensive television show ever made at the time, right? And those effect shots were expensive to produce, so it's not something that we can just throw together. Now, we have had others who've talked about, you can produce these kinds of effect shots cheaply and that sort of thing. Yes and no. I mean, obviously, for us to do it, it has to match the quality of what we've already produced for the film. And that means we need to shoot on similar cameras. That means we have to shoot, we need a studio space. So we have to pay for a studio, we have to pay for cameras, we have to pay for lighting, we have to pay for a crew. We actually have to build I'd like to build a lunar landscape. I have somebody here in the Twin Cities who can help me build that. We also have to create rigs to suspend the eagle, that we would, to do the shots. And I want to do a mix of shots, like some of them where we actually have the eagle like on an armature and it's steady, and we actually push the camera past it the way they used to get the illusion of movement. And then there's also, the idea of putting it on a rig with the wires, suspending it and moving it, back and forth. Now, if we start getting into things like creating a landing scene or those sorts of things, that's where it starts to get more expensive, So, the simpler, the cheaper, the more elaborate, the more expensive. It just works that way. So if we want to do things like having it take off and land, and say we want to have gases come out of the jets on the bottom, well, that's got to be rigged and put together. That's got to take time. There's an expense to that. So
can you get some decent refrigerant that's ozone safe?
Well, yeah, I think we can actually. I think there's a lot of ways to do it that work. But again, you have to take an eagle apart, right? And you got to rig all the stuff inside, and you got to, that's not some simple thing to do that, right? You have to have a crew that's got the model capability to build that and make it happen. Then you got to be able to trigger it on camera, right, and catch it. So it was really quite magical what those guys pulled off 50 plus years ago. And I so admire it and love it. So, I think lots of things are possible. People have said, can you blow up some eagles? Sure, we can, but we can't, but if we're going to blow it up, then that means we've got to go, things are a little, we obviously, there's insurance issues and location issues. So,
cardboard cutouts, right?
Yes, right. Yeah. So if we want to actually blow up an eagle, we're going to have to go out and build a backdrop, like a diorama, backdrop landscape, and we'll have to do it outside, and use the actual sunlight probably as our lighting source, and then and everything. And by the way, to give some background on me, I've been studying visual effects since I was a kid. It's been, just as much as I've loved science and that sort of thing, visual effects have been another thing for me. And I've always loved, the process of visual effects and the production and everything. So the idea of doing this is very, very dear to my heart. I love the idea of doing it. So I'm just hoping everybody will support us to get it put together. So it's cool. So what I basically have done is I've got a way that I can finish the film without this. But if we can do it, then we would tack this on to the end of the movie. And I'd also love to have some of the cast members, people who have actually been showcased in the film, come and be present for this, including Jan and Todd, and hopefully Bill George would join us. Bill George told me that he would be very happy to help us with this, as a kind of supervise either in person or from afar this practical effects work as well, which is great. So we'd have this Oscar-winning guy who's done all these kind of cool visual effects throughout history helping us. So it'd be pretty cool.
So what's your goal? Do you have anything in mind? Just a flyby, or you haven't solidified anything?
Yeah, no, we absolutely solidified it. We ran the numbers, and so we can do like one or two just shots of the eagle in space. That'll cost us about $9,000 to do the studio and set everything up and do it, right? The rig, the set, studio for some time. And we would, now the one cheat I'm going to do with this is I want to use the LED background, which I think is awesome, right? So we can create space and stars and stuff and actually catch it in camera, which is one thing. It's like, come on, we got to do that. We got to try that. We got to, so in other words, we're using wires and we're using these old things, but I think we can use this big LED screen like they use for the Mandalorian. We can do that. That's the one piece that I want to do. And again, if they'd had access to that, to me, it's no different than saying it's like a high tech, like, on Peary, right? In 50 years ago, when they did Peary, they had painted backdrops that they did, right? Or any of the planets, they had painted backgrounds. So in our case, instead of a painted background, we're going to use a digital background, but the rest of it will all be practical. So our minimum for the Kickstarter will be $9,000. So we hit the $9,000 level, then we can do something. We'll do some sort of visual effect shots with it in space. Now, if we can get to the next tier that we'd like to look at, which is about like 20,000 or so. Then at the 20,000 level, that'll let us build the landscape and do the rig to allow us to do maybe a takeoff and landing sort of thing and stuff. We may even be able to do a crash for something like that. So I think that at the $20,000, $21,000 level, we can do space shots, takeoff, landing, and a crash. Right now, if we want to blow it up, then we got to leap up to about 30 grand. And at the 30 grand level, then we can actually do the pyrotechnic stuff and get that all set up. And John and I have been talking about, like, working with the local fire department. And because as a producer making the movie, I have to be sure everybody's safe. I have to be sure that everyone's protected. I can't make, we can't get anybody hurt in the production of this. We got to do it right. And I want to make sure that it's done correctly. And I want to have a lot of fun with it. So if we're going to blow something up, let's really blow it up and make it awesome, So there's that sort of thing too. And then I think the next tier for us would be, well, what if we were to recreate, say, the space battle in war games? So say we could use a 22-inch, MPC Eagle, right? And then we could maybe get the similar scaled Hawk, and then we would do that on wires and armatures, and we try to do some effect shots like that and recreate the battle scene. But then that's a little bit more elaborate, right? We'd have to have it storyboarded out. We'd know what we want to do. We'd have it, these are very like the shots that I'm talking about for the 30 grand and under. Those are pretty straightforward. It's like, well, we're just going to have it fly by. We're just going to have it fly. We're going to have it go like this. We're going to take off. We're going to land. We're going to crash it, right? Those are all straightforward. If we start talking about we're going to have eagles and hawks flying and chasing each other and doing that sort of thing, then that gets to be more elaborate, So I think that's probably closer to about a 50 grand sort of raise for us and everything. But that's the max we're looking for this. So if anybody who's wondering, like, how much did this movie cost? The Eagle Obsession is when it's all said and done, the budget's going to be somewhere around $700,000. That's about what we ended up, what we're doing. And of that, I would love to kind of give the audience a sense of sort of what's happened to date to make that happen. It's been my team and I, personally financing a lot of this and getting it to where it is to date. We did do the Indiegogo, which raised a little bit of money back in the spring. And we continue to have initiatives to raise money as we keep going. But what's happened is myself and my investors, we've put up the money to get this thing as far as we have to date. So, so we're just looking for this extra little piece to finish the film and do this kind of cool little bit. So,
well, to be brutally honest with you, Jeffrey, I think that if you're going to do VFX, you should probably do the Command Eagle with you coming off of it.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun, huh? Yeah. I mean, I think we've kind of talked about the idea of using the Command Eagle, as being the effect thing, it's kind of as a special thing for this, right? And then obviously when you have those effect shots, you'd go, oh, those are those new effect shots they did, because you'd see the eagle with the blue on it, right? So that's pretty fun. So what we would need to do is make some custom Command Eagles, some 22 inches, and I think we need some 14s also, because one of the things that happens with doing these kinds of effect shots, you use different scaled, you use different lenses, you use different scaled miniatures. All those things are a combination in this, right? It's like I think about, like, right here, I've got the what is this, the little ones from 1612, and everything, and I try to imagine all these different scaled eagles that we could play around with to do effect shots. And you can play around where you have one in the foreground that's you have a 44 in the foreground, but you have one of these in the background and it looks like it's really far away. It's all those things you can do to trick the eye,
Oh yeah,
which is a lot of fun. So no, and I the other thing that I want to do, a couple things. We'd like to film this, the making of this whole thing. So I'd like Todd's buddy Mark to come up with him and film the entire. So like we would obviously have cameras that are shooting the production, but we'd also like to have cameras shooting us making the production, right? So we'd have two teams, but then on top of it, I want to make sure that there's a behind the scenes making of the whole thing, the whole process, and that would go on the Blu-ray when it's done. And then also, Gordon, my hope is that you will come and that you could live stream some of this stuff. So you imagine that going on like Space 1999 series or other places and being able to help, have the audience kind of the fans follow us as we do this stuff in real time. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
I agree.
Yeah. So those were all kind of the bits and pieces. Now let's talk about what we want to do as rewards this time, because the one thing is now obviously we the last time we did a Kickstarter in September of 2023, we had a whole tier of rewards and all that stuff, and it ended up being pretty complex. And honestly, I don't think we quite knew what we were doing. We did the best we could. We were all, these things are always a work in progress, right? The good news is we finished a movie. We now have a movie that's a full-length feature film that has been shot. We've got, Nick, we've got Bill. I mean, anyone can go on YouTube and see the 13-minute preview that we've put together. All the wonderful stuff with Jan, and everything. I love that segment. It's my favorite part of the movie. Yeah, no, seriously, I think it's fantastic. I love it. So we did what we said we were going to do. We finished it, right? We've got it. And I'm in post-production to finish this whole thing up. And I'm working on some things right now that are going to blow you guys away. There's stuff that you haven't even seen that we started working on. We've got animated sequences, full animations that we're putting together. So like the opening credits and the interior, it's all, you guys might have seen animation I did with Parallel Man and stuff like that in the past. Well, I'm bringing that same team of animators to this. And so we've got all these sequences throughout the film that are going to be animated, that are going to be a lot of fun. And it's great. We've got this other version of the eagle, the arrow eagle that Aldo Spadani came up with, which is a realistic eagle. Like, how would a real eagle look? And we've got scenes where we're actually doing visual effects shots of the existing eagle, and how it would work and function in real life versus a real eagle, how it would work and function. That's all part of the movie. All that kind of stuff's in here that you guys haven't seen yet. So the movie, when it's done, will be over 80 minutes long, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm very excited about this. Going back to the Kickstarter, here's what I want to offer for this. So we want to do, so John Eves, the fantastic Star Trek designer, John is doing an exclusive poster of the Command Eagle. He's going to illustrate it fully, and he's doing that. And so if you come in to contribute to this at the $25 level, you can get one of those posters. Okay, so it's like $25 plus shipping. So in all this stuff, we're planning for you guys to everything we want the fans to pay for shipping. That's the one thing we're going to do, because we've gotten confusion over that last time. And because people were like, well, can you ship it over here and ship it over there? It's like, hey, we can ship this to Timbuktu as long as you pay for it. Shipping, right? That's what we're looking for. So it's great. You want to throw that back up? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so so we've got the John Eves poster. We're only going to make 1,000 Blu-rays. That's it. Just okay, because the thing is that whoever distributes this film when it's finished, they're going to want the exclusive rights to be able to distribute the movie, fully through streaming, theatrical, Blu-ray, that sort of thing. But I am doing a carve out with the distributor to say there's 1,000 of these in the world, the Blu-ray exclusive. So this will say it. There'll be a exclusive collector's Kickstarter edition Blu-ray. All right, and that's it, just 1,000. And then, so if you come in, you can get that. If you do $75, you can get the poster and the Blu-ray together, which is something I would do. At $150, so we've designed this amazing. We've got a baseball cap now, and we've also got a mug that we've done. So you can get a combo poster, Blu-ray, cap, mug for $150. Then we get into the 22-inch Eagle model kit that everyone's seen, and that we've already had quite a few pre-orders for. And the feedback's really great on it. So you can get that unbuilt for everything above, plus the unbuilt model for $500. And then at the 700, we will put it together and build it for you. So, yeah. So that's the thing. And so, yeah. And so then we talked about the aluminum stuff and adding that to it as well. So these are all the different levels, but these will be basically the tiers of what we've got available. It'll be very simple, very straightforward. And we're hoping that this will be. And then, by the way, as far as when we would fulfill all this stuff, it'll be available. Our plan will be to ship this out by August of next year. Everybody will get everything then. So, yep.
We'll post those in the comments later, so everybody can see what the tiers are.
Mm-hmm.
So when do you plan on going live with the Kickstarter, and how long is it going to go for?
The plan is to launch it on the 27th of October and run it until November 27th. So like right before Thanksgiving.
So 30 days.
Yeah, so 30 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll run it for 30 days, and all we have to do is hit that 9,000, right? And then we've hit our mark, and then we can keep going. Now, obviously last year when we did it, we set ourselves at as I've explained before. People are like, why is it 500,000? It's like, because we're telling the truth. It's like there's so many Kickstarters that people go out and they say, we can make this thing for this much money. And they don't really make it. They're lying when they say we can make a whole movie for $20,000. No, they can't. That's not true. And everything. And even if you're shooting with your iPhone, it's not a realistic number. So I wanted to be truthful with the audience and say making a real movie costs real money. And as you can see from the quality of what we produced, I mean, there are people who in the industry who've seen what we've produced to date. I've had people say it looks like it costs millions of dollars with the quality of what we've done. So I'm very proud. We've had fantastic teams work on this. Something else that I don't know if everybody knows is that we actually shot so much footage that we've actually split it into 2 different documentaries now. So we're going to actually have a second documentary that's going to come out of this project called Return to Tomorrow. And that's in that movie, we're going to focus that on the greater picture and talk about how Space 1999 will be part of it, but it's not the focus. So that film will start out as a personal journey for me going back to, I loved Apollo, but I watched Lost in Space, so my goal is to talk to Bill Mumy, then we go from Lost in Space and we talk about, 2001: A Space Odyssey. We talk about Star Trek. I did an interview with William Shatner back in July, which was utterly amazing experience. And so that's on film. We've got Billy D. Williams scheduled to be in the film. We're going to be shooting with him soon. And then also Sigourney Weaver, we're in talks with her team about having her in the movie, and then lots of others too. So Return to Tomorrow is going to continue on production all the way through 2025. And then we're also hoping to work with the National Science Foundation and blow it up into something much bigger, which will be an educational supplement and all kinds of things. And then beyond that, we're looking at maybe turning Return to Tomorrow into a TV show. So that's because there's a lot of stories out there to tell. There's a whole bunch of stories to tell that beyond just what we're going to do with that piece. So Return to Tomorrow is going to continue forward. The Eagle Obsession will be finished in January, and then it will have its official debut at the Tribeca Film Festival as our target in June. But we are hoping to do a test screening, I'll call it, at Wonderfest in earlier. And so the first time people in the world to get to see the whole movie will be at Wonderfest. That's my goal. So yeah. So that'll be fun. So
sorry,
yeah.
I just had a excitement there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to have a digital download available. We're not going to have we will have a digital access for people who have contributed, right? So if you contributed before, we will give you digital access, which means you can watch it like once or something, right? But I have an issue. Here's the thing. It will eventually be available in all platforms and everything, but it's not sold to a distributor yet, right? So the things that I'm committing to allowing you guys to do are based upon, cutting this all out to say to the distributor, hey, we did these crowdfunding, we have fans, we have people we're working with, we want to give them access to this early, and they're going to be fine with that. But once I have a distributor, there will be digital downloads, there will be another Blu-ray, there will be, be in streaming, all that stuff will happen with it. So, yeah.
Exciting news, Jeffrey. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no. Very, very happy to talk to you guys about all of it. And I think we can hit $9,000. That doesn't seem like too hard of a number. And John and I did a lot of work trying to figure out how will this whole thing go down and how can we pull it off and have it look cool. And the other thing is, I think we can make some really cool looking effect shots. I think we can be a lot of fun. I really do. I'm pretty excited about it. I want to see what we can come up with and do with this, and if it all works out, then I'm planning to surprise you guys with how it fits into the movie, how we'll show you what we created, so I have a plan with that too.
So are you saying that just about anything that's going to be used in the VFX is going to be pretty much used and abused, so to speak?
Yeah. When we make this stuff, the best of whatever we make will be in the movie. There's a way that I'm going to include it in the film. Yeah, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be a surprise. So,
well, the reason why I'm asking is that yeah, you can buy a pre-built 22-inch, but it's probably not going to be weathered to the extent that you want it. So, what you got going on with the buildup of these ships for the shoot?
that's where Mr. Todd's going to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already working on that.
Yeah. So
I've had several people offer to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So we need these to look really good, right? We need them to, and I know you guys get it. We'll get that blue color. We'll get the decals on it. We'll get the, like you said, Gordon. We want to age them appropriately. We want to look weathered and the whole deal and stuff.
Yep.
And we also are going to need to have versions that we can break. You know, it's like, I think we should use Jan's for this. That's the idea, is to get Jan's eagle and just, so no, that would be cool. So.
He said we can't blow it up though.
Shoot. You know the number of people, Jan, that I see online who will say, I don't understand. Why didn't you just build a whole full-size one? I'm like, are you kidding? Do you know how hard it was to build this one? Yeah, I agree. I'm like, hey, you go and build it then. It's like,
build it. We'll come film it.
You build a full-size one. That'll be awesome. That'd be great.
Matter of fact, I'll make a special trip down to Tennessee where they sell the real fireworks and get whatever you want.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Gordon, what's that globe back there behind you?
Oh, it's just the Earth.
Okay.
Found it over at Home Goods.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So, well, I'm excited. I think it's fun. I feel like we're in a really good place, and I'm pretty excited to do this, and everything. So, I'd love to answer any questions anybody has. This is a chance if people have questions about the documentary, where it is, what's going on. Happy to answer. Yeah.
We've got several people commenting on this. It's mostly exciting. One of the guys that offered to build some of the models was this guy, and his real name is Gil.
Okay.
I just figured it out when he did this. So we'll be in touch very soon, and we'll get it all lined out with whoever we're gonna get these from.
Okay.
And we've got basically a little over a month, because it's going to be happening right after this ends.
December 3rd is the date. I basically am blocking December 3rd and 4th to be able to shoot at the studio here in Minneapolis. So whatever we're going to do, we got to do it those days. Otherwise, we can't get it into the film. Yeah, because the film absolutely has to be done and delivered by January 15th. Otherwise, it can't go any further than that. So,
right.
So in order to, so you guys understand the process, right? So we have to have time to build everything, get it ready, get it to the stage, shoot it on the stage. Then we have to take the footage, right? And I have to take the footage, and we have to basically clean it up, color correct it, get it looking really good and everything, so it's actually usable in the edit of the movie, right? And also, I'm also going to have all our behind the scenes footage we're shooting of us doing it, and that's got to go into the film. So there's two parts, right? There's the final effects, but there's all the stuff that we're doing in order to, put that together. So, yeah,
it's exciting stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
David's watching very intently.
Yeah, David, hoping you might be able to lend us a hand and come out. So, yeah.
So I know we're going to be in discussion with how you want to advertise, how you want to get the word out.
Yeah.
For the Kickstarter, that is.
Yeah.
Hopefully, all of our people watching today and people watching the review will help us get that word out.
Yeah. And we do have a special event here in the Twin Cities on Tuesday night where I'll be speaking with Kevin Anderson will be there, and our producer, Anne-Marie Gillen. And we'll do a panel discussion. Then we're going to watch the footage we've shot so far, or that's been posted so far, up on the big screen, which is pretty cool. And those of you at Wonderfest, you guys, we saw it on a large screen, right? But this is actually in a movie theater, so it's going to be pretty fun to see it in the movie theater.
Will that be filmed?
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that we have some crew film that event so that we can put that in, show that
Awesome.
too. Yeah, so we'll get that. And John, we need to coordinate on that later today. Talk about it. So, yeah.
Cool.
No.
Let's see. You answered that question. Tony's been here telling us some stuff. Let's see. He said something about overcranking the scale would be shooting a 148 scale Eagle exploding. The frame rate would be about 168 feet per second. Phew.
Frames per second. Yeah.
Frames per second. Yeah.
Frames per
Yeah,
second.
that's what I meant.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I mean, we, and that, the difference here this time too, is that we're shooting with, it's digital cameras, which will be interesting, right? We're not shooting with film cameras. So it'll be, I'll definitely have to work with the team to figure out the right settings and especially this whole explosion thing. If we're going to do that, we have to do some tests first and, see what's going to work. So, yeah, but that's,
right.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need any M80s. I don't know if Minnesota offers the real stuff.
I have to think about that. The scene where the nuclear waste dump is going up, and that they end up putting in the opening credits. Right, that there was something so spectacular about the way the explosions were timed with the boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and it's like, God, that would be so much fun to do that. You know what I mean? To put that together. But yeah, but we'll figure out how to blow up an Eagle. I think hopefully you guys, we can put together enough funds to go do that, because that'd be a really fun project.
Well, like I said, cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should do one just for giggles.
Just for giggles. Yeah.
Yeah. We should do something.
I wish we had a, it'd be fun if this was a bigger project where we actually had a big budget and we could build a launch pad, right? Could you imagine if we actually built the launch pad and had the lift and all the stuff and everything? That'd be a lot of fun. But for right now, let's just do this.
Have some fun.
And be excited we did this. That's the first stage. So yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna take
John, did I cover everything?
Yeah, I think so. We talked a little bit before you came on, and one of the things that I pointed out too is what was neat about this is something the fans brought to us. The focus has been really on getting the documentary done, getting everything in that you wanted to do, that was in the script, in the budget. And then they came to us with this VFX idea, and at first it just wasn't there. And then you talked about it, and you and I talked about it, and Todd, and sure, why not? If we can get the funding, let's go ahead and do this. And it's something the fans want. So there'll be some excitement.
Yeah. No, to answer the question was with the film. So again, you can see on YouTube right now, if you type in the Eagle Obsession, you can see a promo that's about 13 minutes long. You can actually see a taste of the film, but the actual final film, it's going to debut at film festivals first. But there we're already in negotiations, some initial negotiations with some distributors. We're talking with Cinemark Theaters. So in North America, there's a possibility that Cinemark Theaters will carry it, and we'll put it in a certain number of theaters. But it's a little loose right now, which is kind of how we want it, because we're making a really high quality movie, and we want to do a deal with a big distributor. So we're hoping that Netflix will come in and go, this is great, let's do it. That's the thing, and carry it. So,
yeah, I think everybody's pretty much excited.
That's good.
Oh yeah, Peter wants to say this to you, Gordon. For the right price, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say for the right price, maybe.
Yeah.
Andrew Grimshaw might be pissed at me, but if it's the right price.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So where will we? Let's see. Are you gonna put something out on the HQ so we can get some announcements going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the key is, so over the next couple of days, we have to get that Kickstarter page finished and filled in. So that's the first thing. So we're working on that, and that should be done by, I would think, by Tuesday or something like that. And we got to get approval by Kickstarter and the whole deal. But our target's the 27th for launch. So as soon as we have that ready and put together, we'll do it. But the difference this time is I'm really hoping that you guys will lean into helping get the ads done and put the things out. You know, it's like, because I got to focus on making the movie right now. This is different than a year. You know, a year ago I was able to put a little more time into the marketing and things like that. But right now I have to edit full time. I'm starting on the 28th. I'm doing nothing but editing. You know, this thing until we shoot the first week of December. So,
well, PNGs of your logo and whatever pictures that you want us to use, we can get that set up and get that going.
Yep.
Sure. That's great. Okay.
The actual Kickstarter page, we can share that.
Yep.
We could do shorts if we need to do shorts. There'll be stills, though, not anything.
Oh, yeah.
You have some video stuff, but
I'm up. You guys do whatever you want. Seriously, whatever you want, whatever it's going to take. So, you know, and I think the message that I really want to get across to everybody is this is not us coming with our hand out going, can you help us make the movie? It's like the movie's getting made. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is us saying, can you help us do this really cool final little piece, this little add-on that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's what it is. It wasn't originally intended to be a part of it, but this is going to be a really great fan-supported effort.
Right.
Which
Exactly.
really gives a good nod to the original effects.
Absolutely. Like I said, the thing that sold me on it is I started thinking about it. I was like, well, why do I love this? I love it because it was miniatures, it was models, it was practical. That's why I love it, you know. And literally a lot of visual effects nowadays, I don't care for them because it's all computer generated. I just think it looks ridiculous. I just don't. They look like video games to me.
Right.
You know. And you can tell the difference when they have movies and shows now that actually use miniatures. You can tell they look a lot better, you know. So I think yeah, we might be in the 21st century, and I'm not saying never use computer generated stuff, but to me, I'd use it sparingly. I'd be focused on the miniatures and stuff. So this is very exciting and very dear to my heart, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes, we can make sure the Blu-ray is it should be all region. Yeah.
Region free, actually.
Yeah, it should be region free. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Region free. That's the best way to go.
Yep.
Yeah, CGI.
Yeah, CGI sucks. Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny. I was just watching like a preview, and no offense to anybody who likes the new Star Trek stuff, but I just saw this clip from this new Star Trek, What Strange New Worlds, right? And the Enterprise flies around in that, and this is just my opinion, but I watch how they show the Enterprise, and it looks like it's flying around like it's a fighter jet. You know, there's no like physics to it. There's no weight to it. There's no substance. It's just, it goes, you know what I mean? It's just, and I'm just like, what is it? You know, it just doesn't, you know, there's just something about, if you go back to, and you think about like the battle in Wrath of Khan in the Mutara Nebula, right? Mm-hmm. And it was visceral. It was, there was heaviness, there was weight, there was physics. It felt like a real tangible thing, right? So much cooler than the stuff that's going on with the CG to me these days.
It took some energy to move it and navigate it, and there was depth, you know, where you see the Enterprise up top looking down on the
Reliant way down there. And,
yeah.
That
Bill
stuff is so cool. What was that, Gordon?
Bill is the man.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's so this is really, like I said, it's very dear to my heart. Super excited about this. I hope we can make it happen. So. And I'll make sure that, you know, I and my team and everybody, we'll all contribute as well. So, y'all totally agree, Peter. Yeah, it's like, that's part of why I've been working with Tobias on this, is because, you know, when he and I talked about, you know, like when I brought him in to do the effects, he and I had done some work together previously on my movie Oceanus, and we've done some other things too. And he actually is going to work on my feature film Persephone next year. But Tobias gets how he's getting better and better as he goes on. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. But it's Tobias seems to be able to really understand and impart that sense of weight and heaviness and physics and inertia and all that stuff. He gets it. He also understands camera movement, which is great. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's absolutely a submarine battle, no question. So. Yeah. So no, don't get me started on visual effects. I can talk your ear off all day. I love it. I'm way into it. So, yep.
Well, we're excited to hear about this or see what we can come up with.
Okay. That sounds good. Jan, you're up late.
No.
Yeah. What time is it there? Is it?
I think it's about 9.
Oh, it's about 9. Okay. All right, good. That's right. Okay, not that late then.
No.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Well,
We got tomorrow.
that's what I got.
Yep.
So,
And that is
So we were actually talking a little bit about Wonderfest next year, and we're really excited to have you guys be there, pretty much front and center. We wanted to at least let everybody know that we've been talking with the guys from Giant Leap and Zyka for the Big Eagle, the Retro Eagle that's coming out, the Eagle 1976, as well as Anderson Entertainment and Jamie Hood with round 2. So it's going to be a spectacular setup for all of the marketeers, if you will, of Space 1999.
that's great. Hey, I did reach out to Jamie, and I know he's a very busy guy, but I have space. So on December 2nd, I'm actually filming all the narration, all my on-camera narration for the movie. So that's where I'll be going, blah, 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 and talking about everything, right? That's the stuff that kind of pulls the whole film together, right? And that's where I will actually have, hold eagles up and stuff on camera and talk about them. And so I'm planning to have the Mattel Eagle and some dinky toy eagles and things like that. If there was a way to showcase the new Eagle 1976, we could do it then. So I don't know if there's a way you guys can help me kind of put that together or talk to them. But if we could show it, we could talk about it. And I could say, look, this has been recreated now. And you could to me, it's why the movie matters, right? It's like literally, I run into people all the time who are like, two things. People like, never heard of this, but this looks really cool. Or they're like, oh my God, I remember that. Right. I run into that quite a bit. And so the idea of saying there's so much interest in this that there's a new version being made here now 50 years later. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's incredible. That's an incredible story. So I'd love to incorporate it. So if there's a way to get it in there, we could do that on the 2nd of December as well.
Well, what I'll do is I'll set up a messenger virtual intro with you and Craig and Tim.
Okay, great. And where are they based? Are they?
Ooh, I think one is based in Kentucky. I think the other one, I forget what the other one lives, but not too far away, but still not Minneapolis.
Right. Well, but that's different than it being in England or something. So.
Oh yeah, they're all.
Yeah. If it's over here, then it makes it easier that we might be able to work something out. So.
Yeah. So their Kickstarter's in the process. They've actually went over the halfway mark, but it's only for U.S. residents, which is why Jamie has kind of opened up the gateway, so you could order one via their Anderson Entertainment, Jerry Anderson store, mainly for the UK folk. Or I think anybody out of Europe. I'm not sure what the deal is with postage and things of that nature yet. But nevertheless, they have that gateway as well. So kind of widen the aperture for the audience.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, US based.
Okay. Well, like I said, my point is I'd love to see what we can do if they want to showcase it. I'm happy to, and I'm also happy to. We would showcase it on Eagle Documentary and with our fans too. If there's anything we can do, collaborate there, we're happy to. I think it's a great project. So it's pretty cool to actually see it done correctly, right? You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. With the right colors and the right, closer to the right proportions and details and everything, but still feel like that toy we all loved. That's a pretty cool collectible, Oh,
so, I agree.
Yeah. So.
Todd plays with us and does the whooshing things all the time in his room. You should see him.
I sure do. I'm not going to lie to you.
We don't judge, Todd.
Yeah.
It was gone.
Yep. Absolutely.
Jan, you going to come to Wonderfest?
I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
Would love to see you there. Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to see you too. You all.
Yeah.
We got a pretty nice little setup there for, video camera and everything. I like that.
I'll even take a picture of you next to my 88. How's that?
There you go.
Anyway, Thank you, Jeffrey. Really appreciate
absolutely
your time.
Yeah. No,
John too.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate everything you guys do too.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, this has been a really fun journey in a lot of ways. It's had its ups and downs and had its moments of frustration, whatever, but it's had a lot of really wonderful moments. It's been a lot of fun and a real honor to get to tell this story and to do it. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. Wait till you see what we're going to do in the film. I'm actually, all goes well, I will literally look like I'm walking around on Peary on the set from 50 years ago. That's something we're shooting. We still have to shoot that. But that's all coming together. So we'll I just was talking with the prop maker guys who are building the little trees, the weird sphere, with the spheres and the weird. Yeah, we're building that and everything, and we're building so it's gonna be cool when we're working on that. So that'll be, the Kickstarter won't be up until the 27th.
We'll definitely get the word out though to be prepared to get everybody.
We can do a coming soon right now, right? We can do a coming soon right now and start talking about it. So yeah.
And we, like I said, it's basically the fans' idea for the fans.
Yep.
So anything that supported by the fans is definitely for the fans.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the other thing too is this other project we've talked about having, Mark shoot and direct. That could become a little a piece that the fans could have, right? I mean, we'll put it on the Blu-ray. We'll put it on the Blu-ray disc, but I'd love to have that available. Put it on YouTube. Put it on our channel. Put it on his channel. It's something that everybody should get to see and see the behind the scenes of this and everything. So, like, can you imagine Jan comes over? We make sure we have a team at the airport to film Jan coming in. There's all these fun things we could do with this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's the idea. So, yep.
That's right. Well, supported by the fans. Yes, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you plan on giving up some of your collectibles for the wear and tear abuse of the filming. John's actually got quite the collection.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't blow any of my stuff up. I'd be like, I don't know.
Well, I have unbuilt kits that can be donated, but
definitely.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of any of my.
Yeah, mine all have stories behind them.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll get it done. I think it's going to be a fun thing to do, and hopefully everybody else does.
Yeah, John and Jeffrey, also with some normalcy trying to come back into play, which is nice. Definitely be front and center. Let me know what you need.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah, we absolutely. Great to have you back, be able to work with you on this and everything. So yeah, it's that's great. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
Appreciate your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess we'll call it a day here. Everybody keep watching on your favorite Facebook page, the Eagle Obsession headquarters and Props and Ships Space 1999 series, Todd's Corner, of course. So we'll get the information out there and give you a heads up, and it'll go live on the 27th. And
yep. For all those particular pages, please press like and follow. And the more we have support, the more we can get the word out. Really do appreciate your support out there.
That's what it's all about. If you click it and save it and reply and all that good stuff, the more we can do because we see what you're doing, and so does like YouTube and all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Tomorrow, I guess we go back to work. Yuck.
There we go.
No bueno.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right. Yep. Thanks, everybody. All right. Take care. Good seeing you.
Bye.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Later.